Here we see the invoice approval process of one of our customers from the first quarter of 2019. It actually looks very good, doesn't it? Yes, but unfortunately this is only the most common way 38% of all our invoices go through the process. If we now fade in all activities and connections, we get a completely different picture with, in total, 165 variants. Well, with so many variants and exceptions, it is really difficult to find the right approach for RPA. But if we focus only on the 5 most common variants in the first step, the picture becomes clearer. But where should we start with automation? Well, how about the bottlenecks? If we now switch our metrics to throughput time, we can see the bottleneck of 9 days between receive invoice and process invoice. Now, based on our quick and easy analysis of this process, optimizing and automating the process invoice activity could help us to significantly reduce throughput time. Of course, bottleneck analysis is only one of the many ways to uncover RPA potential. And as I want to focus only on process mining in my presentation today, I will skip the automation part and we will jump directly to Automation tab, the monitoring of our progress. Here we see again the 5 most common variants of our process in the first quarter of 2019. But now the shading of the colors represents the automation rate of the respective activity. In the first quarter of 2019, the receive invoice and the pay invoice activities were already fully automated by 100%. The rest were not yet, 0%. Our bottleneck is still there, of course, and we can also see that the complete processing of an invoice in the most common variant cost us about $98. Quite expensive, I would say. But all that changes in the second quarter, when the customer started to implement UiPath and automated the process. By the end of the second quarter, a total of 24% of the invoices had already been processed automatically. And as a result, the throughput time at this point was reduced from 9 days to 7 days. And the processing cost, as you can see, for each invoice fell to approximately $81. And in the third quarter, things got really exciting. The process invoice activity was 100% automated by now, and they had also started to automate the fine check of invoice to 34%. The throughput time was reduced from 9 days to 7 days, and then to just 34 minutes. And look at the cost. We started out of $98, then $81, and now less than $30. So this is the true power of robotics process automation, and with process mining you can finally use it where it provides the greatest benefit and measure the benefit as well. But unfortunately, even the best RPA platform cannot ensure that from now on no more mistakes will happen. Neither the technology nor the people are perfect, we know this. In the hectic pace of everyday life, it can still happen, for example, that the process is not followed. Approval limits are not respected, mandatory approvals are skipped, or simply the entire process takes too long. We can detect such deviations from the desired process very easily with process mining and react accordingly with the help of our hyperautomation platform and RPA. For example, if we determine that an invoice is due in 3 days, we know from experience that the approval must be given today at the latest. Otherwise, the invoice will not be paid on time. Or if an invoice has been ordered for payment, although the approval is still missing, the system now can request the approval before the money finally leaves the bank. With the help of the business rules stored in process mining, we detect such issues and use the functions of our hyperautomation platform to ask people for help, or we directly instruct our bots to take care of the problem. Let me show you what I'm actually talking about. To do this, I first check out my to-do list in the Action Center of the UiPath Orchestrator. And this list is thankfully empty. Now let's return to my process mining application. on the last day of the available data, the system shows us a case where the approval was skipped. Well, this is not good. Normally, we would detect this issue whenever new data is read in, which usually happens once a day or overnight. Now, we don't want to wait that long, and therefore we added a button on this additional dashboard only for demo purposes, which of course does not exist in a normal application. If I now press this button, the system generates an action item in the Action Center. And if I return to my Action Center and refresh the page, we can see that a few seconds ago, an invoice was detected where the approval is missing. If I now click on the invoice, we get more information about the case. And if I would click on this button, we could look at the original invoice in a connected document management system. But right now I don't need to do that because the essential information is already displayed here. We see the case owner, we see the value, we see the supplier. This is all information I need. But before I can resolve the issue, I need to assign this case to myself. If now I would click on Open in SAP, then SAP would come up and show us the case and I could approve it manually. But I don't have time for that either. So I just click on Approve Invoice and one of my bots will now execute this task for me in the background. And all I have to do is to confirm that the case is finished. And now I see a nice empty to-do list again. Well, that's the end of my presentation, in which I showed you how to use UiPath Process Mining to first discover what problems exist and where RPA potential might be. And once we have automated the process, we can use the same technology to monitor the impact of RPA on our processes and if errors still occur, how to respond to them. If you would like to know what potential your processes have, please contact your UiPath representative and let us surprise you with our unique offering. Thank you very much for your time and attention and stay safe. Goodbye.